Okay. It's actually Facebook Live 3, take 3. Um, Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you're at in the world. I am coming to you this afternoon for me from one of my Ashford table looms. This is the one that we're getting set up for our son to weave his first Shave 'em to Save 'em project on. If you follow me, you've probably seen several posts about this project, and I am here slaying the reed today, and I thought that would be a good opportunity to talk to you all about the beginning of my weaving journey and kind of my journey really to love warping. I think if you've woven at all, lots of people love the warping process from the get-go, and I think some of us, myself included, originally I just wanted to get to the weaving, and my original mindset around warping was that it was something that just had to be gotten through so I could get to the fun weaving part. And I'm sure there are people who are kind of everywhere in between. I have to say, I love warping now. I really do. And a lot of that just came about because I decided that I was going to be a weaver, and that meant that I was going to do a lot of warping in my lifetime. And I found back to front warping, which worked for me. I can warp both ways, and I do occasionally warp front to back. I don't always make the decision to warp front to back for good reasons or appropriately. Like sometimes there really are. Ooh. Found a threading error. Got two threads going through the legs of a heddle, and one of them. Okay, there we go. Got it. I thought my son had skipped a heddle while threading, but he didn't. He just went through, kind of took him through the legs. Anyways, what was I saying? Sometimes there's really good reasons to warp one way or the other. Most of the time, it really does just come down to preference and what works most naturally for you. Like I said yesterday, but that's kind of a conversation we had yesterday, and today is about how I came to love warping. So I really did just I finally found back to front warping. I found that it worked really well for me, and I realized that warping is just an extension of weaving, and I started looking for those things that I loved about weaving in the warping process. So what do I love about weaving? I do love that it's repetitive. I love that I love that repetition. It almost becomes like a meditation for me. It's a very soothing, meditative type practice. And once I started looking at warping through that same lens, I started to love it too. I also took the advice of, I think many weavers give this advice. I think I came across it from Madeline Vanderhoot and Peggy Osterkamp, which was, when you're first starting to learn to warp, put on short warps. You know that I don't do that anymore, but I absolutely, in the beginning, do recommend that you start with short warps, because, the shorter the warp, the sooner you're going to have to warp the loom again. And the faster you will get more practice warping up your looms. And as with anything, the more practiced you get, the more naturally it comes and the easier it becomes. So definitely in the beginning, short warps. Short warps also let you practice with a variety of different yarns and fibers and techniques. You can explore with a lot of different techniques without putting on a lot of warps. There's a lot of things that you can do. I talk about this in my Exploring Twills class. You can, and I have done this, you can put on a long straight draw warp, and you can weave. There are well over 75 different things you can do with a loom that is just threaded straight draw, 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4, or 4 3 2 1 4 3 2 1, whichever way you like to thread. There are just a ton of different ways you can, like lifts that you can use, ways that you can weave that. But definitely, if you are just starting out, put on some short warps. Love warping every minute. Love every minute of warping. Love every minute of weaving. And, really get that practice in under your belt so you can cultivate that love of all the different parts of the process. I am going to start in my Patreon content. I'm going to start a basics series. I am writing some content right now. I already have warping content in my Patreon content. I'm getting ready to start a deep dive into weaving vocabulary and going through all the weaving vocabulary. It kind of occurred to me that I should really, for our folks who are just getting started, that going back to the basics and making sure that everyone knows and understands the vocabulary would be a great thing to do. And today I started listing out all the different vocabulary, and I just thought of something that's not on my list. I have over a page of vocabulary terms that I'm going to be covering in that. So I'm really getting excited about that, creating that content. If you want to check out supporting Weevolution on Patreon, our patrons help pay for the hosting costs, pay for things that are not covered, expenses that are not covered by advertisements. The more patrons we can get, the less time I need to spend trying to find advertisers to pay for those costs. And really, at the end of the day, I just hugely appreciate that people are willing to support our work and the community. So you can hop over to patreon.com/Weevolution and find us there. Check out our different tier levels. You can, if you just want to, or all you can contribute is $1 a month. Even just for 1 month, I will supremely appreciate that. I'm so appreciative of everyone who has supported our work with their kind donations, especially right now. And we just love all of you. I really love this community. I love our sharing nature. I love everything about it. I love seeing what people make. I love being able to ask questions there and get answers. I love seeing people ask questions, and if I can, helping answer those questions. I just love interacting with our weaving community over there on Weavolution. So I'm just about ready to finish up slaying this reed. I'm really enjoying these Facebook Lives. It reminds me of, that old guild tradition. Just like gives me kind of a feel of that pre-industrial revolution when we were weaving in our homes and we were helping each other out. And, when weavers would participate in helping each other warp their looms and socialize while warping and weaving. And especially right now, it gives me that sense of being able to talk to my weaving friends face to face when we can't currently do that. It's not always easy to weave together in the best of times, and here in the UK right now, we still can't really do that. Hopefully it's going to change soon, but I love using this technology to reach out to you all and share with you what I'm doing. Still refining the setup. I love that you all are bearing with me. I hope you're loving them. Please do hop over to weavolution.com. There's a ton of conversations going on over there. Pop into the ones that really speak to you. Let us know what you're doing, your thoughts about warping, I just started a discussion on, how do you warp, what works best for you, front to back to front, why. If you have questions, you can ask them there. If you're unsure, you can kind of look at what works for other people and why, and maybe get some inspiration to try both methods and really see what works for you. All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here today. It's been awesome. Have a great rest of your Sunday. I hope you're looking forward to things coming up this week. And I will keep you posted on where we're at on all these different weaving projects. Have a great day.